This video is brought to you by Enginediy shop. If you're interested in one of the kits that I'm building right here or any of their other engine kits, feel free to check out the links in the description down below and go to their web shop. The kit that I will be building in this video is a 1/3 scale Porsche Carrera motor. This is one of their racing engines that was used in both the road and their racing cars of the Porsche 550 back in the day. Now you can build this in two options, with one the street exhaust and the air filters, or just not use the air filters and go with the racing exhaust. I'm going for the street version, so I will be using the bigger exhaust you could see here. All the parts are cast in plastic, some clear, some black, some silver, and I wanted to add a little bit more realism to them and remove a bit of the plasticky feel, so most of the parts will be painted, some of the internal parts will not. For this painting process, I did need to clean some parts up a little bit. I'm not going to go overboard. I'm mainly just going to keep with the kit as intended, except for some parts will be painted, so it will not be 100% showroom spec, more so just a fun build with a couple of details added paint-wise. The kit itself is fairly simple. It doesn't require any glue or special tools. Everything you need is included in the kit itself. I'm just using a different screwdriver as that is more comfortable in my hands. So the parts are either a screw, snap, or just a press fit. Nothing special there. So for the paints that I will be using, I'm just going to paint it in a semi-gloss black, some parts in a rubber or flat black, and the rest of the parts will be silver. Now, like I said, I won't be painting all of the parts, as this is a sort of instructional model. A lot of the parts are actually clear, so you can see through it and see the inner workings of the engine displayed in a very rough form, just to get the basics out there. With all of the parts painted that I wanted to have painted and that plastic feel removed from those parts and just covered in a nice even coat of silver or black, I could start assembling it. The crankshaft and pistons have all been assembled, so I could move on to some pieces of the block and the cylinders. So like I said earlier on, these parts are all clear, or at least a lot of them, so you can see the inner workings. Now if you just want to have a display piece of the engine that looks a bit more realistic and aren't really all that interested on the inner workings of this part, then you could simply paint all of these external parts that are clear in any finish you would like and finish it that way, and that of course is all up to you. Overall, the build itself is not really all that complicated. You just need to make sure that you follow the instructions very carefully and make sure that all the gears align, so that later on when the electric motors get installed, it all spins and turns freely. The most complicated part that I have encountered during the build is putting the engine halves together and making sure that the pistons and the cylinder walls all align and fit together. This took a bit of time, but I eventually got there. In order to make sure that some of the inner workings are positioned correctly, there are some alignment pieces that are strictly temporary, and these can be removed at a later stage during the build. After assembling all of the pieces, the sticker could be put on the base plate and the engine could be fired up. So since I'm going for the street version, I decided to put the filters on, but you could also just leave them off and show the beautiful carburetors. Overall, a really fun and enjoyable build, nothing too complicated, and you can go as far as you'd like yourself. I decided just to add a bit of silver and black paint here and there and keep it with the main design of the kit, but if you want to do more, feel free to do so. There are links in the description if you're interested. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.